If it's 1,200 feet, that's more like a 80-story building.
And we're just gonna. I am terrible, horrible at gauging like distances. So, hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 6 of Umbral Island. On our last episode, we had the long-awaited poker game encounter with the Doctor and the High Priest, and to put it in simple terms, the encounter went very, very sideways with the assassination of the High Priest and later crucifixion of a later post-mortem crucifixion of the body, and also a deadly firefight done by Marshall Whalen and the Bailiff at the very last second. Where we last left off, there was a sound of hoof-fall of horses in the background as our party dashed into the night, right next to the Church of the Bailiff in the middle of the town square, with the I forget his actual title, with Malachi, the big bad of this area, being mere miles away from them, miles into the sky, that is. So, where we are now, the party is still around that town square area with rain falling around them, and horse hooves fairly into the distance, but they are not to be ignored, and they are making gain on all of you. So, party, what is the current course of action? What are you all doing?
We still have our horse and carriage that we used to bring the body here, correct?
Yes, you are in your horse and carriage right now. Like, you still have it with you. I imagine you're still in the carriage.
I guess hearing the horses, since I volunteered to be point person, I'm gonna just look at them and be like, guys, I think we need to get going, like, right now.
How does the party respond to that inquiry?
Let's go.
So, Adrienne, as the one that is typically driving the horses, where are you all going?
So where are we going? Anybody?
DM, I'm no longer like spilling blood everywhere, am I?
No. You are no longer bleeding, but you
Cool.
do have a sense of weakness about you due to the blood loss that you have suffered.
Cool.
The party is trying to find out what the next course of action is, but they sort of know that they want to go somewhere that isn't where they currently are.
Right.
So party, what's the move? Where are you going to try to go?
Would I know, or would any of us know what, like, what the closest sector of the island would be?
Oh, like the next like big city of the island?
Yeah, or like, because I know we're in Catskin now. I guess it is the big city, like the closest big city.
Yeah. The next closest big city would actually be either Bat Screech, or let me check my notes here. I think it's either Bat Screech or Alzai. Alzai is directly south of it. Bat Screech is northeast.
Would we know, or like how they called people to sermon? Like, was it like you were expected to show up at this time, or did they ring like the bells or something to get people into the square to listen to the sermons?
Make me a very swift perception check, but yeah, just like a very like quick and small perception check.
I actually was thinking the same thing. Could I do one too or help?
Yeah, absolutely. What did you get, Olivia?
17.
Yeah, with the 17, yeah. If you would have rolled over a 10, you look around and you see that the church is made up of 3 towers, 2 very long towers on the left and right side of it, and then a center tower that is more short compared to the other 2, about half as tall. And on the 2 very large towers, there is massive church bells, and you can recall over your time being here that you have heard the church bells chime out, and you can assume that that is the sort of summon to come to church.
Is there a visible way to ring them from down where we are? Or would we have to climb?
So eyeballing the height of like a building, you can like make a quick like intelligence check to eyeball that compared with like your spells and like ranged weapons ranges on them. But they would probably be around 12 stories in the sky, which is this is a very like weak estimate. About 1,200 feet, I think. 1,200 feet, maybe more than that. So over 1,000 feet in the sky.
No, I was asking if we could see a way to ring the bells from where we are, or if we'd probably have to climb it.
Make an investigation check. Just like have as you were like being the lookout, you would have been able to like look around and see if you could find a sort of mechanism on the ground. Olivia, were you going to say something?
So I have a plan. Okay. We made the big the crucifixion in the town, right? But there's no guarantee that people will see it by the time morning comes around. And we've got the scary man on our trail. So what if we rang the big bells, get everybody out of their homes? It makes kind of confusion, so the bailiff is hard to find us. And also they are forced to the square to see our little artwork before it is potentially cleaned up.
You said an investigation check, right?
Yes.
That's going to be a 21.
Ooh, that's tight. So, you do not see anything on the ground level. There's no buttons or levers on, like, outside street level. But it is very high up there. But with your knowledge of general infrastructure and from what you can see, there are, like, those big strings that you pull on either bell, or you could also do the traditional method of hitting it with a hammer. You could do that from the ground level, but the hard part would be getting a hammer or something to pull the string up 1,200 feet, which is doable but difficult.
Adam, are you able to still do that flying thing?
Yeah, I should be able to. It lasts for an hour, so...
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you would still have that. It'd only have been around 20 minutes, so you've got around 40 minutes of flight left.
Okay.
You know if you are able to carry somebody while you fly, or does it have to be just you?
Entirely dependent on your strength modifier.
It is a -1. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, with the strength of -1, it would be hard to carry any member of the party, but it would probably be easiest to carry Mel, since she is probably the lightest amongst all of you.
At least since I'm not wearing my big dress today.
And she has like the least amount of equipment weighing her down, that sort of thing.
I mean, I could just do it myself. That's also
I was gonna say, if
option.
you could drop me off at one, and then you go to the other one, that way we have 2 chances, and then if we get both sets of bells ringing, then it's even better. But if you want to fly up to one, are there doors? Like
How
at the
far
bottom to
away are
maybe
the
go,
bells from each other?
The bells would be around. We're gonna
My
say.
Eldritch Blast has a 120-foot range.
Oh yeah, that's chill. They're about 90 feet from each other, I'd say. Like,
Okay.
there's this tower right here, and then 90 feet to the right of it, there's the other tower, and then the smaller tower in betwixt both of them.
Okay.
What were you saying, Catherine?
Are there doors at the bottom of the towers, assuming like they would lead to a staircase to go up if we needed?
Yes, there is the main set of doors that you saw while doing the crucifixion. And if you're riding around the building, I'm gonna like use your investigation and perception checks that I've already made you do. You would have been able to see that there are doors on the back side of, like, on the right and left back side to get into the, like, towers, and also windows and side doors that are used for maintenance.
Okay, so I'll go up. I'll go up. What is everyone else gonna do? Because I'll go up and ring the bells. You guys can, I don't know, you could flee, you could go inside. Whatever you feel necessary.
I'm thinking about potentially going up the other tower manually, like just running up the stairs inside. That way, if something happens to you or you can't hit it, that...
But what's the bailiff gonna do when he gets here? I mean, you'd think the first place he'd check would be the church, right? I feel like if you go inside, I don't think there'd be a good way out.
Out of the tower?
Right.
It's fine. I can jump if I need to.
It's fine. All right. All right. You guys figure this out, and I'm gonna start ascending towards the top of this.
Okay.
Of the tower.
So, to Catherine, if you want to climb it manually, you can try the doors, and when you find a set of stairs, you will be like sort of climbing at half of that pace. If like once you get inside, and if you find a set of stairs. Yeah, so it would, in reality,
I see.
probably only take you about like 20 seconds to get up there.
I think I'm going
Alright.
to stay down with Arron and Adrian, and I'm gonna stick close to Adrian because I want to make sure that nothing happens to her if, like, the bailiff and whoever gets here before, like, we can cause enough chaos to slip out.
Mhm.
By now, I think the disguised self would have fallen, so I'll be back to how I normally look.
Yes, that probably would have happened on like the ride over. You would have like what is it? Yeah, your disguise would have fallen. So Adam is flying up to the top. What are the rest of you doing, and have you just been in the town square this entire time?
Should we hide, potentially? Or should we get ready to run?
I'm fine to hide.
Do we want to see everything unfold?
I want to make
Sure.
sure that the people actually get to see without them taking it down.
Alright. I agree then. Let's hide. Before I do that though, I'm gonna drop a handful of ball bearings around where we left the corpse. So whenever someone tries to get close to maybe take it down, they'll fall.
All right.
I have
Sure.
1,000, so what do you say? Like maybe 250, maybe 500?
That should be good. But your
Gotcha.
character's not counting them individually, so it's like
No,
well,
I'm just
this much of the
on the
bag.
bag.
But
yeah, about half the bag. So I'll do 500.
All right. You dump the ball bearings out, and they make a very satisfying sound as they start colliding with the wood and spreading across the gallows. The gallows hanging like execution platform, the wooden platform in which the execution method is placed upon. Where are you going to try to hide? There
Do
are
the towers have windows?
Yes, they all have these ornate stained glass windows on them. Like each floor has a stained glass window that is out looking to the courtyard.
Okay.
Little side alleys, right?
There are indeed alleys like around the building itself, yes.
That might be the best option.
Would it be
like,
better
we could,
for
like-
us to stick together or like split up? I don't want to leave anybody alone, but if we're all together and they come after us, we're all going to be in one spot. But we can stick
Are
together
these-
if you guys think that's the best idea.
Are these alleys big enough to perhaps hide, not necessarily completely hide, but like it wouldn't look suspicious if perhaps a cart was just like back there?
You could put a cart in the alley. It can fit in there, yeah. You could throw like a cover over it and it would fit in with like the general boxes and like covered boxes that businesses have.
I mean, I think we're all pretty fast. If we split up, we should be fine. Okay, to get back to each other in case anything happens.
Adrian, you can still make yourself invisible again, right?
Actually, not right now. I can't, unfortunately.
Wasted all of your magical energy for now.
Yes, maybe. I don't have a lot of magic, so when I use it, it is just a little bit. But I could still hide with the cart, so that way, if we need to escape fast, the horse.
I also run pretty fast, so I should be fine.
I will stay with Adrian with the carts.
Okay. I'm gonna go up probably just to the second floor of the tower, the one where Adam is going, and just look out the window, but hide, like behind the window.
All right, so you're going up, and you said the second story.
Yeah, second floor.
All right. So to Adrienne and Mel, please make stealth checks for me. And are you going to like through one of the side doors?
Sure.
All right, make a sleight of hand check to just pick the lock real quick.
Gotcha. Should
Tis
be
a
easy.
formality.
Yeah, very easy. What's that? Math. 23.
Yeah, 23 gets it. You get inside and you see that this side door is sort of like a maintenance area. It's where there's like lots of tools inside this room. Like tools as in like hammers and nails, but also as in like swords, spears, and gunpowder. It's a storage room. But through like looking through a couple of doors, you are able to find a set of stairs that takes you to a similar room right above that one, and you can look out the stained glass window. Make a stealth check for me.
Before I do, can I take a handful of gunpowder and put
Absolutely,
it in
yeah.
like a pouch?
Yeah, that's your inventory.
Gotcha, thanks. Okay, and stealth check. Oh. Do I have anything for... Yeah, I rolled a natural 1. So it doesn't matter what the fuck
I don't think you're close
have.
enough for me to give you another one or to give you a luck die.
Oh my god. Okay, well, natural 1. Let's see what happens.
You get out to the stained glass window and you think, I can see what's going out, but nobody can see what's coming, like what's inside. So it's already basically invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is just the rare nat 1 that you just gotta eat.
Yeah, it
All
is. Right. It really is.
All right, to Adrienne and Mel, what were your stealth rolls?
13.
Do that stuff.
13. Okay. 13. And Adrienne, just a swift stealth roll.
11.
Okay. Cutting up to...
Can I give you a bardic? So
Yeah.
I'll you get an extra d6.
You just look at her like, girl, what the hell are you doing? Cover yourself up.
Okay.
Add a d6 on there.
Okay, so that's now a 17.
Let's go. Let's go.
So-
Because
Thank
that gives
you,
me
Mommy.
the lower roll. I'll say, like, I spend a lot of time trying to make sure that she's really well hidden underneath the cart. Like, camouflaged, like, hiding under some hay. And that, like, puts me closer to where they could see me, potentially.
Gotcha. All right. Well, cutting up to
Mommy.
Joe, or cutting up to Adam Magus. Adam, your wings carry you up to the bell tower in almost no time at all. And what stands before you is about a 20-foot 20-foot tall bell with a like big string, like rope underneath it.
Where's the other one?
It is 90 feet to your right.
Okay. So, I want to look over the edge. I want to make sure that everybody's hidden and stuff.
Mhm.
See if I can I see if, like, any of the people who are looking for us, can I tell where they are? Maybe, like, a torchlight or something like that?
Yes, roll a perception check because there was a bit of deliberation like amongst you, and Mel was pretty far out from the group when she started hearing the hoof fall of horses.
I got a 19.
On a 19, yes, there is torchlight that is starting to grow larger. As you look forward across the courtyard, across like where all the people gather, there is still like a wall, like a strip of businesses with buildings on either side. Think gangs of New York style of architecture. And you can see that there is a light that is growing larger and larger on the right side, like a right side road coming into the courtyard.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, so I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
I'm going to aim one of my beams at the far bell and one at the one that is right there.
All right. This isn't something you need to roll for. These are inanimate objects, and your magic, you can do this pretty fairly easy. and you shoot out your 2 Eldritch Blasts, and it sends a massive gong sound throughout the city. Just 2 bells that are now rocking back and forth with a bong, bong. It is almost hurts your ears. Like, it genuinely is painful for you to be up here. The sound makes your skull rattle, and the lower frequencies, you can feel it shaking your blood vessels.
All right.
What do you do after the bells are now ringing, and they're going to be ringing for a little bit with the kinetic energy? What are you going to be doing?
I'm gonna go to the opposite side of the tower where the guys are chasing, where
Yeah.
they're approaching. I'm just gonna jump off. I'll catch myself before I land, but I'm gonna jump off, catch myself before I land on the ground, and just land on the ground and stealth.
All right. Roll stealth for me. There would be carts and stuff to hide behind, and shadow. But
That's a 16.
All right. I need everyone here to make a wisdom saving throw, except for Arron Knight, because you are in the only room that has lights in it. Adrien, due to your class background, you have advantage on this wisdom saving throw.
13.
13.
Shit. I fell.
Mel, you're making a face. What? Why is
I
there
got
a face?
I got an 8.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Adrien, what did you get?
Oh, I have +4 to
18.
wisdom. Okay.
18.
18 plus 0.
18 plus
Yeah,
0.
I have a +4 to wisdom, so it's actually a 17.
17. All right. We will get to the consequences of Mel's roll. So, as you all hide and you watch out and you wait for the party that is chasing you to emerge into the courtyard, you also start seeing pedestrians flood the courtyard, and you hear gasped reactions. You hear screams and wails of the devoted followers of the person. They saw this man speak in this courtyard every single day. It starts with dozens of them, and they cover their mouth and they turn their children's eyes away. And then it becomes hundreds over the course of about 10 minutes. The guards and the deputies and the marshal who was chasing you, they get caught up in this sea of people. Some of them, they arrive before the people, but as they begin flooding in, just this giant crowd, this cacophony of noise. One of the deputies goes up to take the body down, but they slip and fall on the ball bearings that were placed down, slamming their head against the boards. I'm going to make perception checks for them. This crowd fills, the courtyard fills with people, and this town has been conditioned to whenever they hear those bells, they have to be there or there will be punishment. So in the matter of 20 minutes maybe, there is now thousands of people in the courtyard that is only built to sustain 1,000. And in this crowd, to those of you who are looking out, you can see on the back of a flaming horse, there is the marshal, and standing at his normal 11 feet tall is the bailiff. The crowd is keeping him from seeing you. He rolled a disadvantage. He didn't roll high enough to see any of you except one. In this giant crowd of people, there are deputies being shoved around. There are arguments breaking out between the people and the authority here. This isn't how it's supposed to be. They're supposed to be immortal. They can't die. But the bailiff looks directly at you, Arron Knight. He's not looking at the crucified body. He's not looking at the people that are throwing things at him and shoving him. He looks directly at you, and you can just see a mouth with too many teeth in it begin to break out into a smile and a laugh.
Can I see this from where I'm hiding? Would I be, because Aaron's up, and I'm assuming Bailiff's tall enough that I can see him even if I'm crouching down. Do I see him spot Arron?
Yes, roll a perception check. This not disadvantaged, but just higher DC than normal since there's so many people here.
The perception check?
Yes, perception.
God, math is hard. The 23.
23, yeah. You don't see Aaron. Well, you do see Aaron. Aaron rolled a 1, but You
I also
see,
knew where he was going.
Yeah, you see Arron stood there just like a deer in headlights, and you see the bailiff, like the driver of a large truck, about to ram into this deer.
I see him looking at me, right?
Oh yeah,
Like I know he's looking at me.
it's impossible to miss. At first you don't, but then you get a shiver down your spine, and you just see him looking directly at you. At this
How far
point,
away is he?
so he would be around. Okay, distance thing again. We're gonna say 100 feet, maybe. No. Yes. 75.
Okay. In this tower, because I went up 2 floors, right?
Yeah.
Is there only windows to the front, or is there also windows leading to the back?
There are windows to the front, the side, and the back. There aren't any on the inward of it that would like fold into the rest of the, like, you would be looking at the other tower. There aren't any that look at the other tower, but there are that look behind the building, in front, and to the side of the building.
All right. I'm gonna I'm gonna cast a message.
Yeah. Who do you cast it to?
I'm gonna cast a message to the bailiff.
All right. You cast
I was
message. What do you message?
I just look right at him and I say, "Catch me if you can, fucker," and I flip him off.
Yes. I
And
love that movie.
Run to the back.
Yes. Is it just like a full-on like Assassin's Creed dive out the window?
I'm gonna run to the other window, the one in the back. Before I go, I'm gonna drop a couple more ball bearings, like maybe 100 or so.
Yeah.
So that if anyone comes up the stairs, they'll fall down the stairs. And then, yes, completely 100% Assassin's Creed, just jump out the window.
All right.
In the back.
Adam Magus, you see this happen
Yeah.
as you were hiding behind the building, and you just see Arron jump and fall 20 feet, I think. Also, roll I'm just gonna roll fall damage on that. I don't know if you have a way to like avoid fall damage, but we're gonna see.
I can try landing on my feet. That's what I can do. I was going for the tuck and roll.
Roll acrobatics, yeah, just roll acrobatics.
Not that, yeah.
It's not that bad. I mean, not for like an adventurer.
Exactly. Oh, that's great. 16 plus 12 is 28.
I mean, yeah. Never mind. You don't take no fall damage. You've done this before.
And then, fuck, do I know where to go? I'm just gonna duck and hide in one of these, and like, because I don't know where everyone else is, and I'm gonna see if I can spot Adam anywhere, either in the sky or just around.
So, as all of this happens, right? You jump off the back. Mel, Adrienne, you see this happen. Like, Arron rolled a 1 on that stealth check, and so you saw all of this happen, and now you see the bailiff marching, shoving people out of the way, and marching towards the church and the towers. But Mel, you have an experience that we need to talk about. In this darkness, your mind is taken over, and you start seeing things that aren't actually there. You see the middle fingers go, and you see Arron on her way, but right after that, once the bailiff starts moving, it's sort of like how a person smells toast when they have a stroke. You start seeing smoke. You start seeing smoke start surrounding the area that you're in. And eventually, you see a figure made out of this smoke appear before you. It's a hooded figure with a large rack of antlers on its head. It looks at you with 2 long white eyes, and these eyes are deep and they are all-knowing. You've heard this figure. You might have heard this figure described by your party members, but if not, this is a wholly new experience for you. You have never seen this before. Roll me 1 more wisdom saving throw.
I was taking notes. And I'm assuming he's like staring at me, or the
Right.
figure is like
Less than 5 feet away from you, you could reach out. He could reach out to touch you.
That's a 14.
Let me see what the DC check is. I can't imagine it's that high. Let's see here. This is the first time we've used this. This is awesome. So, you fail the wisdom check. You start to get a twinge of fear inside of your body. And you are taking on the first level, the first tier of Umbral Madness. So, the way that Umbral Madness works for the time being, this is the way that it's going to work now, is you're going to have disadvantage on future wisdom saving throws that do not have to do with Umbral Madness, right? So, aside from actually worsening your state with the sense of paranoia, any spell or other thing that requires you to make a wisdom save throw, you are going to have disadvantage on. And it is going to be harder for you to fully get a long rest. You are going to have to always be within a lit area to get a full long rest. Before, you could get one, but you just have to make a saving throw for it. But now, it is literally impossible for you to gain the benefits of a long rest without being near a nightlight, so to speak. So, disadvantage on wisdom saving throws. Not checks, but saving throws. On anything that does not have to do with getting the next level of Umbral Madness.
So, as far as like if I am not sleeping near a light, will I start taking levels of exhaustion because I'm not able to take a long rest?
Yes. You also won't get spell slots or HP back, or any other thing that you would get back from a long rest. The other thing... I can
still take short rests?
You can still take short rests, yeah. But the other thing is that you are now always going to feel a sense of being watched. And it is a very heavy sense of you are going to see shadows in the sides of your eyes. You are going to feel daggers piercing through your perceptions. And you are
Not
just
honestly that different from what I already experienced.
Yes, but now it is on a medical level. And you are just filled with a sense of paranoia. Adrian, you do not see any of this happen. You are probably completely fixated on the bailiff marching towards the church.
Yeah.
I think for the first time since like meeting Mel, Adrian, you see like a look of actual fear and concern on my face. Because normally it's like, oh, like this is a bad situation, but like we'll be fine or we'll get out of it. But this is like, you see, like Mel is still fairly young. You see that little bit of youth in her eyes. Like as she's like staring like straight ahead.
That's correct. Can I just like kind of flicker on the forehead? Hey, we've killed him before. He's not a big deal. Ignore big boy. He's sick. That's it.
Do you not see the... I'm assuming like as soon as I turn back around to look at it, it would probably be gone.
Gone. No more smoke.
Yeah, now I'm really gonna feel like I'm going crazy. There was a thing with antlers and the most horrific eyes.
Sounds like my ex-boyfriend. I'm just kidding. I've never had a boyfriend. Do you still see it? Is it still here?
No, I when I turned to look at you and then turned to look back at it, it wasn't there anymore.
Okay, well, next time you see it, you tell me. I roll up my sleeve. I go take care of.
I think I just need a long rest. I must be just tired and the bloodlust getting to me.
Oh, you need a nap. It's okay. You take a nap in the cart. It's okay. Go bed.
After that experience, what is the next course of action for the two of you?
I want to see if I can...
At us, right?
Yeah, I want to see what the bailiff is doing, because if he's actively pursuing Arron, we gotta step in.
So he, as you watch him, he does not walk to any of the side doors. He walks to the main front gate of the church. He goes up to it, and he just opens its massive doors that are twice the size of him, and he closes it behind him. He does not touch the body, and he does not go for, like, either of the side doors that would get him into the tower. He goes into the front gate.
We could assume St. Malachi would be.
Yes, St. Malachi would be on the upper floors, because it is, you can get to the towers from the, the main building, the central building, but it is a lot less, it's a lot less direct than going through a side door. Inside of the main building is where any altars, effigies, statue, and church personnel would be.
Adrian, he's going inside the building. He's not going after Arron. If there are children
Good.
inside there right now.
That they were doing stuff with children. That's not good. That's not good. So wait. Adam is flying around. Aaron's
I'm on the
Um,
ground. I'm just kind of stealthed behind the tower.
Yes, Adam and Arron are both
Okay.
stealth behind the left tower.
and how far away is that from like us? Could we get to them?
So, oh god, distances. So the way that I do this is that a long double lane street is 50 feet, and so that's how I sort of measure this. So if you were to run around and get to where they are, it would be around 200 feet on foot to go around the tower and get to the behind it where they are right now.
Can we see if any deputies or the marshal are near where we are? If we left our position, would we be at risk of being spotted?
So all of the deputies and marshals are still on their horses. The closest horse that you can see is about 40 feet away from you, and they are sort of spread out. They are trying to keep the peace. They have batons out. They are trying to keep, they're whapping people to keep them in order. They're trying to keep order in all of this cacophony of noise.
Adrian, I really wish you could go invisible right now.
You and me both.
Should we just make a run for it?
We could. We still have the cart. We could always drive it over there, but it would not be very sneaky.
Yeah. Maybe as soon as we got in the cart, they would see us and we'd be a huge target. But maybe we can just run through the crowd. At least form a new meetup plan with Arron and Adam. But we cannot
Yeah.
stay here.
Yeah, when we get back with them, we can all formulate a plan together to see what we're going to do next. Because honestly, I did not think that was going to work as well as it did, and it was very entertaining. So yeah, let's go find the boys.
Adrian, I must ask you something.
Yes.
If they see us and I tell you to keep running, you keep running. Okay?
Okay, but just know that if you stop running and then I can't find you later, I come find you later.
You can come find me later. That's fine.
Okay.
So do the two of you start running through the crowd to get behind the church?
Yes. I'm gonna run behind Adrian so I can keep an eye on all of the marshals and the deputies. Or I guess the marshal and all the deputies. So I can see if any of them clock us.
Both of you make stealth checks with advantage. The crowd is helping you out a lot right now.
Thankfully
Mel,
that was with advantage.
yeah. What was your roll, Mel?
16.
16. And Adrian?
11.
The DC was 10. You're both good. So
thought you said we were both dead. I was like,
good with a G. Yes, you are both able to get around the building, and so heading to Adam behind the building. Adam, I need you to make a religious or an arcana check.
I got you. What do I have?
Adam.
Adam, not
Oh,
Aaron.
not bad. I
All
don't
the
know.
A
Well, I'm
names,
sorry, I'm
all of
lost.
these gosh diddly
Even I got
darn A
confused.
names.
Even I got confused.
23.
There, my bad.
23. So, this might have come up in your previous adventures. You are a level 11 exorcist, as it were. You feel a sort of change in the air temperature, a change in the barometric pressure, in the flavor of the oxygen that you breathe. Something that was once immortal just became mortal. You have broken a phylactery of sorts. You remember from the poker game that the thing that they kept bringing up in the poker game, all of those elites, was that the belief is what matters. The zealotry is all that matters. And now that this belief and zealotry has been shaken, there is someone nearby who is no longer mortal. And you can just feel this shift in the weave, or who is no longer immortal. And you can feel just this shift in the magic around you. Things look slightly brighter, a few hues brighter. It's an indescribable feeling. But as an expert in this sort of thing, and with a roll that high, which the DC was pretty high, and you beat it, you sort of feel it. You felt this feeling before. It's a sixth sense for you. Ghost shit is a sixth sense for you. That is. So, yeah, as you feel that feeling, you're still stealthed and whatnot. You see Adrian and Mel run across, I say run, sneak, skulk, if you will, themselves behind the church. And Adrian and Mel, are you looking for Adam and Aaron?
yeah.
Yes. You see them, you can call out to them if you want. Well, you don't see them, they're both stealthed, and they're very good at it. But you can make perception checks, or you can call out to them and give them the 410.
I won't risk calling out to it because I know you said the bailiff has really, like, the people have warned us that, like, he can hear all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just get in a spot and, like, start. Would it be investigation or perception if we're actively looking for?
We'll say either or because I love investigation as a skill.
That's gonna be a 9.
Mm-hmm. Word up. So,
Olivia, what did you get?
Oh, great question.
Yeah.
Because we're both rolling, right?
Yeah. The two of you, Adam and Aaron, both of you are hidden within like the same sort of section, section of streets, the same area, within like 50 feet of each other. And you can both see, because they did not roll super high checks, you can both see Mel and Olivia walk out and like looking around for you.
Right. Can I quickly just get like a recap of just like
The events?
no, just the area, like the where all the buildings are and stuff.
Mhm. So,
Looking
yeah, so where you guys are right now is you are behind the left tower, and the left tower is like, so the left tower is here. I hope this isn't flipped. This might be flipped. So the left tower is
It
here,
is,
and you
but I
guys
got
are
it.
behind it.
It's up
Yeah,
here.
you guys are behind it. And then there is a larger building in between the two towers, and then the right tower. So you guys are on the back left side of the like city streets around the building. And so these are mostly like, they're alleyways, but this is the middle of the nice part of the city, so they're nice alleyways.
Okay.
But it is mostly just like street decorations around you. It's nothing, there's like not too much happening. And you can see the two, Mel and Adrienne, both looking for you, like, or looking around. You can imagine that it is for you.
I'm gonna continue to stealth and just make my way towards them and try and meet up.
Yes. You are able to do that and like give them like a swift tap on the shoulder, maybe. And you are able to alert them to your presence. So now the party has been reunited. You're all in sort of the same area with each other. What are y'all going to do?
You tell us about the phylactery being broken.
Yeah. Guys, I think we've done what we need to do here today. Malachi is a lich. All right, Malachi is a lich. I believe his phylactery was connected to the faith of the people in the city. And with that act, what we've just done, I believe we've broken it. So I think for tonight, what we do is we need to get out of here. We need to find a place to hide. And maybe attack Malachi tomorrow, because I don't think we can take on all of these men at once.
I think this might be the chance that we kill Malachi too.
It's a chance, but I feel like it's more of a chance that we'll all die. I mean, the bailiff's here, the marshal's here, everyone's here. It's not a good idea.
I mean, if the phylactery is broken, it can't just fix itself immediately, right?
It shouldn't. No. If the phylactery is linked to the belief and the faith of the people, that's not going to be restored the morning after. You know what I'm saying?
We could go get a good night's rest before we do any further action.
But where do we go?
Before we go decide, my only concern is if now that he's mortal, now that Malachi is immortal again, would he not up his defenses in the meantime?
Well, they're not exactly down right now.
They're a bit spread thin with the people. Correct?
Spread thin would be an
If we
understatement.
could
I mean,
go-
they're all
we-
at the
we don't-
church right now.
We
I've
don't
seen
have to
them.
go through the front door.
The bailiff is in there, though. I don't know if you guys saw that. He did walk through the
Yes,
front door.
every single defense that Malachi has right now is right there at that church where he is. I don't think it's a good idea.
But they're at the gates, correct?
I mean,
If we
we
see
struggled in our
back-
fight against the bailiff alone. What makes you think we can take on all three?
He does have a point.
But
Not to mention, it's been said that the bailiff is stronger every time he comes back. We don't know what he could be like now.
I understand your concern, but it might be the best option. If we leave him some time to... You're right, he won't regain his immortality, but he might strengthen his defenses. Coming back here another day could prove impossible.
Maybe the people will try to assassinate them on their own.
Maybe
Or,
underlings lose faith in him as well.
or, you're right, maybe we've done what we needed to do here today. And maybe the best option is to come back another day. We also know who controls the... I forgot his name.
The bailiff.
The bailiff.
Mhm.
Do you think if we defeat that person, the bailiff would cease to exist? Or at least be easier to kill?
Well, he wouldn't come back, that's for sure.
So I think that's the best option then. We're gonna have to leave Malachi
Alright.
alive for a day or two.
So we've taken out the high priest. He's gone. There are no more sermons. There is no more teaching of the faith in this town. Malachi will be vulnerable from this point on. But we just need to pick the right time, and I don't think now is it.
Right. So then we... hold on, I have this written down. I don't want to. Should we go then to the Dr. Jupiter? Is that the one who's making... No, hold on.
Dr. Jupiter is the one that you have heard. You've heard that he's the one who made the bailiff.
So should we head towards Dr. Jupiter then?
Well, I'm not
Outside.
sure. I'm not sure we can just skip town tonight. I mean, we don't have our cart. We don't have any of our supplies. They're all back at that.
Our cart is just
we
down
don't.
the alley.
Did we bring the cart?
That's-
Yes, we brought the cart. Oh,
Oh,
you were.
It was
you
where
were,
we were hiding.
You were
We
glitched.
also-
Yeah, you were glitched out. Yes, the cart is hidden in an alley, but it's
Oh,
nearby,
okay.
200 feet away.
We don't
But I mean, I carry all my
What about-
supplies with me.
what
But I
about
understand.
our supplies back from the tavern? What are we gonna do about that? Are they just gone?
Well, if there's anything you need, then I guess we can return. But we should skip town since we are being looked for. Now,
Yeah.
probably more than ever.
The tavern
Tapas
is
is-
also on the way out. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. I mean, we can stop by, but I have a feeling it will still be guarded.
We can
Right.
sleep on the road if need be. We had one good night's rest, and I think
Do you think
That's a
it'd be
lot to ask.
possible to retrieve our cart without, stirring suspicion?
I could
First,
probably
let me
do it.
ask: are there any other carts and things like that around, or is it just ours?
So you left the stables and like the stables that would have you would have been able to get carts at in the less lower income district of the city. So around you right now, no. If you stole a deputy's horse, yes, but that requires violence.
I thought our cart was nearby.
Your cart is nearby. I thought you meant other carts. Yes, your
Okay,
cart is
good.
200 feet away in an alley.
Yeah, and are there any other carts around that are moving around? Like, are people coming out in carts and things like that?
People mostly came here on foot, but you're also behind. You're not seeing the crowd right now. You're behind the building. You can hear the riot outside, on the other side. But if you could go out there and make a perception check to take one of their carts, but yours is readily available, you would just have to get out on it.
I think what he means is asking is will it be conspicuous that we're trying to escape in a cart?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Will it stand
yeah. To those of you who were out there, you did see people come in carts, so it wouldn't stand out, but it would be awkward to get through the crowd, and it would be a little bit more awkward to get through the crowd without being seen.
I think our best bet to get back to the cart is to kind of go one at a time in different directions, to get
Right.
there, and I'll just
What-
meet up back there to get out. If we're walking in the group, we're going to be easily spotted.
Sure. What if we send one person to just take the reins of the cart and walk the cart out of the crowd on foot, so as to not be seen? And then once we get the cart out of the crowd and out of the town square, we can meet back up and leave.
It's already down an alley.
I could do that.
Out of the square.
It's where we
Yeah.
were hiding.
Okay.
It was a little side street, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and it has a it's not like a closed off alley. You can drive it out.
We might
Right.
have
So
to
we should just send
scare a
one
few
person
people
to
out
get
of the
it.
way, but
Yeah. We'll send one person to get the cart, and then we'll all meet up. Let's just say on the northern outskirts of town. Probably be best. Where are we going? Where's the next town? Do we know? We have a map, don't we?
You do indeed have a map, and checking the map, the island shaped like a star. You are on the. So I'm gonna do it so that you can. It's not flipped for you. You are on the top right shard of the star, which is Catskin. That's where Catskin is. And to get to Owl's Eye, that is on the bottom right side of the shard. So it is south of you. So you would just have to take the cart and drive it south through the wilderness.
All right.
what are the cities between us and Owl's Eye? If we were to go to the next point.
The next
What's the point
is-
between us?
So there are no major cities between the two, between y'all. There are only 6 settlements on the island. In all honesty, there's Bat Screech, Catskin, Owl's Eye, Toad Slime, and Antlers, and Hare's Hide, the town that you all started in. So because the wilderness is so oppressive on the island, there aren't that many settlements. So the closest city to you in all reality would be Hare's Hide if you wanted to go back there, or it would be Owl's Eye, which is directly south of you.
Which one is the city with Dr. Jupiter? Because I think that's where we want to go.
That would be Owl's Eye.
And that's south of us?
That is south of you. So picture of a star, Bat Screech, Catskin, Owl's Eye, Antlers, and Toad Slime. And then Hare's Hide is right in the middle. And you came in between the star's legs into its little star. genitals.
Right, so I think what we should do is have one person retrieve the cart, and then we all meet on the southeast edge of town. And we should be
That's
able to leave from
huge.
there.
It's going to take forever for us to walk all that way. It's better for us to just try to get on the cart now and go.
I
Yeah,
will
you
say
might
the
be
town.
right.
The town is pretty large. It would be a lot faster for all of you to just not get spotted and get on the cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
All
we
right,
should.
I guess we can try that. It would be pretty redundant to walk the whole way, so.
And most of you are in plain clothes, anyways. So hiding in a crowd is a little bit easier to get back to the cart.
Shit, I haven't even been seen yet in the clothes I'm wearing.
So do you all try to make your way back to the cart? And then make your way to the tavern to get your supplies, and then Alzai?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Alright. Make
There you go.
same stealth check that you had to make before, DC 10 with advantage, because you're just going through the crowd. Should be pretty easy for everybody.
19.
19, heard that. Olivia, you're muted.
With advantage, you said?
Yes, with advantage.
Thank you, sir. That's a
18.
lot better than the natural one.
As long as you're not rolling double ones, we should be all fine.
25.
25. All right, Mel
12.
just breaks it, and Adrian
18.
18. All right, yeah, you all make it back to the cart and are able to just drive it out the other side of the alley. There are lots of people there because they're just pouring in to see all of this, but they can understand that they have to make way for the cart that's moving out of there. And so, do you head back to Stein's Tavern?
I want to
Right.
make sure Stein is okay.
All right, so you head back there. You aren't really met with many forces. All of the law enforcement is dealing with the riots at the town center right now. And so you click the horses, and the single horse, I believe, who was named Midnight, you click Midnight, and he takes you back to the tavern. You see the bullet holes that have filled the windows and the wood of the tavern itself. There are no more authorities here. There is no more law here now. So as you go in and check things out, Stein is nowhere to be found.
We make our way down to the basement to get our stuff.
So the basement door was left open when Adrienne flipped it up and ran out, and the open basement door was sort of how you knew that Adrienne was on her way out. And so with the open basement door, you go down there, and what supplies did you leave down there?
I think it'd probably mostly just be our bedrolls.
Yeah, those aren't there. Everything that was down there is no longer there. Every crate of dried food and meats, every barrel of ale that was down there for storage, it is now just an empty wooden cave.
Has the floorboard been moved?
The floorboard has. There is a hole in the floor where there was previously a box with incriminating evidence in it. And now there is just an empty box.
Is the bailiff's old body still there, though?
The bailiff's old body is still there. They can't really do much with that. It's just a corpse. So it's empty crates, empty boxes, no bedrolls, no any rations you would have left in there, all are also gone.
Damn.
Could it be reasonably assumed that this was the deputies? Because it would have been a lot of stuff for one person to try to take out.
Yes, it can be assumed that it was law enforcement in some way. It was not just the bailiff himself.
I don't know if it'd be an investigation or whatnot to try to find out where Stein went. Because you said we didn't even see a body.
No bodies. Just I mean, there's hecka blood from where y'all did your little murder thing, but there are no corpses in here.
I mean, they must have taken him in for questioning or something. That's not good. I mean, with all the evidence that was down there, he could be hanged tomorrow.
They got him. He could be at his mother-in-law's house. I don't know. Maybe he just got away.
As you were leaving, he was not making a break for it. He had his arm behind his head and he was on his knees.
Okay, maybe he's not at his mother-in-law's.
Would I have been able to maybe remember, or like if I could write like roll a history check to see if I remember seeing any of the deputies like with a prisoner?
No, you don't have to roll for that. You would have noticed if you saw Stein there, but you did not while you were running away, while you were looking for the deputies. You did not see any of them that had Stein in handcuffs. You can assume with relative confidence that him and all of your things are at the deputies at the sheriff's house, the marshal's office.
So during my jaunt into the city, was I able to? Do I know where that is?
Yeah, roll me. You can choose between history, investigation, or perception. It could be any of those skills.
You said history, investigation, and what?
History, investigation, or perception. Whichever one do you think would help you most?
I'll do perception.
All right.
21.
21. Yes, you do. It was... So from where you are now, it would, if you're on your cart, it would be about a 7-minute ride there. It was not totally in the most wealthy part of the city, but it was also not where you are right now in the lower income portion of it. It is betwixt the two, some would say middle class.
What, area of the city is it, directionally?
Directionally, it would be north on the way to the town square. You would have passed it coming here. Not passed it as in you saw it, but passed it as in, past the area that it is in. But it would be about 7 minutes away from you.
Right. Well, if we want to do something about Stein, I think the most reasonable place we could find him would be the jailhouse. And while I was venturing into the city to get us some clothes, I did happen to see the jailhouse. Problem is that it's in the direction we just came from. And I don't know how long it's going to take them to realize that we're not there and come checking the tavern.
I think we should go let him out.
I agree. What about you, Arron?
I mean, you were just saying we need to leave, and I don't mean to be heartless, but we can't save everybody.
Alright, so that's 1 vote for save Stein, 1 vote for leave Stein. What about you, Adrian?
It's a very good question. So we do need to leave the city. That is, yes. We also need to probably rest a little bit, but he did help us. But also, it's the occupational hazard. But also,
I bet you
we
our
might not
stuff's
even
there
get to
too,
jail.
but we don't really need that stuff. If we can, we could probably get by without it. But
So
Adrian, do you have your journal with you, or would it be in your stuff?
Oh, that does not leave me ever. Ever. Listen, it does not leave me.
So I would like everyone to... There's not a skill for this, so we're just going to call it wisdom. Roll a wisdom check. Umbral Madness this isn't a saving throw, so Umbral Madness is not going to affect your wisdom check.
This is 23.
23, heard. To the rest of you,
Was this the
anyone
same?
who rolled over about a 13, we'll say the DC is a 13.
Got a 6.
I got a 10.
Yeah, you two don't have any idea.
12.
Okay, Joe, you're the only one who knows. Adam, you Adam comes up with the idea that Stein was the leader of the resistance movement, and to increase the probability, because this will, since y'all are leaving it to the people to do this, I'm going to roll for it with certain bonuses off screen to see what happens, as it were, to increase the chances of the civilian population to rise up against their oppressors, as since Stein was the leader and had plans and knows people, freeing him would increase the chances of the people being able to kill Malachi, as it were.
Question: because Did you tell us this, by the way? Because I don't remember if I was, because I know it was Mel that found the note.
You know, it was those. So those two, Mel and Adam, were the ones who were down there and like found all of that stuff. So actually, honestly, it wouldn't make sense for y'all to know that. So yeah, it's probably good that only Adam rolled high.
Because if I would have known, I would have obviously changed my opinion.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So since you know that and have that sort of thought with the wisdom check, because I just wanted to like put that out there. What would do you bring anything up on that?
Yeah. I do see one more potential issue with with our plan here. So I don't think that everyone here would know, but while we were down in the basement before, during the evidence that we found that Stein happens to be the leader of the resistance movement against Malachi. Leaving him to die in that prison could possibly mean doom for the rest of the movement. So if we are truly going to be leaving and we are going to be moving on to the next town, we should at least give them a fighting chance. So I think our best course of action here would be to go free Stein.
I didn't know there was a resistance movement in this town, honestly.
Well, that does
I guess
change
most
some
people
things.
wouldn't know. So, but according to what we found in the basement underneath the floorboards where we were staying, there is one and there has been one, but they've been keeping well undercover.
Oh.
For
Well,
crying out loud!
okay.
All right.
Stuff.
Well, let's pass by there, see how the forces are, and maybe you could just leave the rest to me. I've broken into and out of my fair share of jail cells in my day.
Sounds good to me. And I'm gonna go ahead and head back to the wagon.
All right. Does anyone stay in the tavern?
No.
Okay. So heading back into the wagon, it's about a 7-minute jaunt down the street to get to where the prison is. You don't run into any law on the way there, and once you do get there, you see that the lights are on. You can see through like the barred windows and the windows of the front door that the lights are on, and there is a sign that just has an image of a star, like one of those hanging Skyrim signs that have like an image of a star on the side of it.
I should still have like
A little bit of flight.
15 minutes of flight left.
Yeah.
And I kind of fly up and get like a bird's eye view of where all of the baddies are.
Yeah, roll me a perception check.
16.
16. All right. As you fly up, you are able to like take a little look around around the building, and on the vicinity of the building, there is no moving bodies, no warm bodies on the outside of the building. Not on the roof, not on either side of it, and not around the front. If anyone's here, they are inside. And the building itself is not that large. It is not really meant to house that many people in it.
I'm more saying, like, can I look towards where we came from and see if I can see, like, torchlight or horses or anything like that?
Yeah,
or some, blazing horse. I don't know.
Yeah, from what you can see, making a wisdom check for Marshall Whalen. Marshall Raylan rolled a natural 1. They are all still dealing with the problem that is in front of them, which is a riot of over 1,000 people that have just found out that their god is fake.
Okay. All right. I'll fly back down and tell everybody, like, all right, we've got time. We can take our time here. Let's get Stein and get him out, get him safe, and then leave.
All right, don't worry. Let me deal with it. Stay close enough that in case anything happens, I could yell out for you. All right. And you said the Marshal? what the marshal is? We've seen the marshal, right?
You've seen the marshal.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's like this guy. He's got a ginger beard. He's got one eye. And he rides a flaming horse.
Cool, gotcha. I'm gonna cast Alter Self,
Ah, you're gonna change yourself into him.
and I'm gonna turn myself into him.
All right.
I transform my appearance, height, weight, facial features. I sound exactly like him. Hair, color, disfiguration, anything. I can look exactly like him.
All right.
Because it is a higher level spell.
So,
Yeah.
you do that, and what do? You now look exactly like the marshal.
I'm just gonna stroll right into the jail.
So you open the door, swings wide open, hits a little bell, ding ding ding, and there is a fella at the desk, a deputy, but like a sort of younger, lower-ranking deputy. He's got a sort of air of youth on his face and has not fully mummified yet. He looks to be in about the third state, like a few days into rigor mortis. And he looks up at you and he says, "Oh, Marshal, shouldn't you be dealing with the riot in the center of the city?"
It's being dealt with. But I need that prisoner that was just brought in.
Yes, sir. And you don't have to make a check. This is his boss. He gets up and he unlocks the door. There are 3 doors in here. There's a door to the marshal's office. There is a door to the armory, and then a door to the jail cells. So he gets up and with a long set of keys with 3 keys on it, he clicks open the door and opens it to the jail cell. It's a metal door, so it has a sound opening it. And he gestures for you to go in there. And he says, "Do you want me to come with you, sir?"
No, actually, I need to bring him out to me. We're gonna prepare him for crucifixion to show That's how we're gonna take care of the villagers.
He says, "Aye."
To
And
quell the masses.
he says, "Aye." And he draws his pistol and he goes in there. You hear a door unlock. And
Oh, wait.
Mhm.
Why do you leave your pistol? I'll take care of everything. Bring him to me.
You don't want me to threaten him?
Does he need threatening? I mean, do you need that? Do you need your pistol to be threatening? I'm gonna get up close to him.
Okay,
Really?
yeah. Roll an intimidation check.
Gotcha.
It's like, I'm threatening. I don't have a pistol.
Okay. Only +1, 15.
15. That's enough. He looks at you. He's like, "You're right, sir. Silly old me." And he puts his pistol down. And what do you do? Do you wait in the lobby?
I'll just wait for him to bring him out.
He brings out Stein. Stein is beat to shit. He's got a black eye, a busted lip. His arm is out of its cast, so you just see a desiccated arm sort of hanging there.
Mm-hmm.
It is rail thin. There's only a little bit of skin that's keeping it attached to his body. And he sort of tosses him to you, and you are able to grab him.
I grab him. Thank you. Now get back to work, and I'll just walk out.
All right, you walk out with him, and you have Stein, and you're out.
I'm just gonna whisper to Stein, "It's me. Don't make any movements. We're getting you out of here."
All right. He looks at you, and he with his one good eye, just nods his head a little bit.
And I'll take him back to the cart. See? Easy enough.
He looks at all of you and he says, I know that you're here to save us, and I'm not sure what sort of madness you've called, but you have royally fucked me. I hope you know this."
We've also just saved you, so, give and take.
I recognize, but
I would say if your movement has any time to strike, it would be now. We've made Malachi vulnerable. He's no longer immortal. So if you're to do anything, you should do it now. Me and my group are going to have to leave. For now, we'll come back, but for the time being, there's nowhere safe in this town for us, and we need to rest. So
Is there a weapon you can spare me?
Ah,
I've only one good arm to fight with.
Maybe
sure.
some
And
healing would be better.
I'll
I
I'll
know
hand
that-
him a dagger out of my backpack,
He
and
takes
then
he takes it and he's like holds it.
and then I'll expend 3d6 of my healing light to heal him for 13 HP.
All right. You see his other eyes start to open up and the cut on his lips swell. He stands up a little more straight and he says, a simple knife. This brings me back to my old days.
Do you have anywhere you'd like us to take you so that you can be safe for the night?
It's okay. I know the safe houses I can go to in the city. And he sort of like looks over to like the general area of where the center city is, and you can just sort of hear the faint music of a riot happening. You can hear gunshots breaking their way through just the screaming of it all. And he says, I assume that's your handiwork?
Yeah. Oh, I hate this voice. I drop my alter self. Much better. Sorry about that. Being that man is kind of disgusting. Yeah.
And he says, I'm very impressed. I haven't been able to do some things like that. I'll take advantage of this. And as he says that, the deputy sort of like pokes his head out the door because he heard y'all talking. And he's about to like reach for his pistol, but Stein like flips the dagger around, tosses it behind him, and kills the deputy instantly, piercing his heart.
Could take his gun if you wanted to.
Oh, there's a lot more in there besides guns.
Well, this
Alright.
might be the time to loot it if I were you.
Yeah.
If you and yours need.
I take it you can handle yourself, so I think we'll be going.
Good luck on your travels, and please, everything you've done here, give it to the other lords tenfold.
Of course.
We plan
Stay
to.
safe.
He like gives all of you like a strong handshake with his arm, like with his right arm, and after that he's just going to give you all like a surly nod, take the dagger out of the man that he killed with it, take the ring of keys and the pistol, and march his way into the Marshall station.
All right, I'm gonna get back on the wagon.
With that, are you making your way to Alzai?
The doctor, yes.
All right. A lot of you are on the cart being pulled by midnight, and at this point, you would have been able to break yourself out of the city.
Yes.
So, is anyone holding a light source? Is the first question.
I wouldn't do
I'm gonna
what I-
cast light on my my medallion that I wear.
Okay, so that solves that problem, Mel.
I was gonna say, would I innately know that I can't be in the dark, or would it be something I just have to find out by trial and error?
So you have found out by trial and error. You've been told not to go into the dark, and now it's sort of like how you can tell when you are sick. You have a sixth sense in your body that tells you when you're sick. Like you can like tell that you have like the flu or the stomach bug or something. You know that there is something in your head that's not supposed to be there.
So now do I have a heightened fear of being in the dark? So like I am more aware of when I'm okay.
Yes. So like that's up to you however you want to roleplay it, but now you know that prolonged darkness, whereas before you've always sort of had at least a small amount of light around you, but now prolonged darkness is genuinely deadly, and you know that. And you've experienced it firsthand.
I'm gonna do my thing again. I'm gonna turn the cart into a safe haven.
So that safe haven is going to last you about 8 hours, and we'll say that covers the majority of the trip there. So, on the cart, is there anything that anyone wants to do?
On the road again.
Fucking sleep.
Sleep.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and take first watch.
So
Well,
you don't really need to take watch when it's in its like safe mode because it's like giant walls of light. I don't think you took watches the first time, but like you've got like a little light force field around you. But if you do want to take watches, what is the shift that we're going to be doing watches in? So Aaron's going to go first, and then who wants to go take second watch?
I can take second.
All right. And finally, third.
I got it.
We got 3 shifts made. Is everybody in accordance? They want to take a long rest?
Yes.
Yep.
Wait, I guess whoever is taking watch, would they be the one, like, essentially driving the cart? So
Yes.
you don't just, like, veer off in the
Yes.
middle?
Yes. You'd be like looking at the map, holding the reins, and also like the safe zone does provide light. It is glowing. It is bright light in here, so you are not in darkness. So, Arron, is there anything you want to get done while everyone is asleep?
But real quick, sorry,
Yeah.
before I go to sleep, can I look through, like, my bags and stuff and make sure that, like, anything that was taken from the basement, like, wasn't important?
Mhm.
So make sure that I have everything with me that I, like, care about having with me.
Yes. So, I guess the real question is like roll a perception check, but also you probably would have only left your bulky stuff in the basement, and since you were like in a disguise, you would have been able to carry your more important things on you. But things like rations, bedrolls, and like heavy stuff like maybe tents if you had them, like things that would not be immediately helpful would have been lost and left behind.
That's a 12.
Does it 12? From what you can tell, all of your, unless you like explicitly took off any of your important weapons, and I don't remember hearing about it, all of your important weapons and items are still there. But basically all of your bulk and all of your extra stuff is gone. And that goes for pretty much everybody, because I don't think during the poker game encounter anyone would have had like their rations on them or their bedrolls or fire starter kits on them. Unless you just keep it on you at all times.
I mean, I keep everything in my robe, so
Mm-hmm.
that's me.
So,
Robe of holding.
yeah, robe of
Mhm.
holding.
Correct. No, I'm just kidding.
So, Mr. Knight, is there anything you get up to, or do you just drive the cart?
At some point during the night when everybody's asleep, I'm gonna take an empty vial that I have
Mhm.
or like a glass jar, because I did take a potion earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming I still have the empty jar.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and just cut myself and bleed into the jar. Just enough.
Okay. You do. You fill the jar up with just a dark red crimson liquid.
That's it.
That's all?
That's all.
All right, that's all. Next up, Adrienne, is there anything that you would like to do on your watch, or just drive the cart? I assume you journal?
Journaling, yeah.
Mhm.
Now that I'm like made sure that it's like on me, of course. But probably just journaling and just kind of enjoying the view, even though scary island, just kind of like, oh, look at that.
And finally, Mr. Magus, is there anything that you need to get done while everyone's asleep?
No.
All right. So, with the benefit of light and the safety of your safe zone, everyone is going to be able to get the full benefits of a long rest. As you all sort of awake and such, you're about an hour out of Alzai. You all have all your spell slots back, all your HP back. Is there anything that you all need to get done before arriving in the city?
Not really.
I don't think so.
Honestly.
All right, the shaking of heads. All right. Let me.
Actually, before we do arrive, I just wanna like talk to the group. So what is our plan here for this city specifically, considering our last plan didn't go so well?
Yeah, because somebody decided to kill someone we agreed not to kill that person.
I don't remember agreeing to that, to be fair.
maybe for the next one you should wait outside.
I'm just saying. But if that is what you will need of me, then perhaps I will. Do we know anything about this town or this person that could help us?
The only things we were able to gather before now about the town were that the leader of the town uses golems as protection. Other than that, we know that he is creating and distributing philosopher's stones for the for whatever plan is being concocted on this island. Other than that, about the actual town itself, I don't think we know much.
I
We
just
were
wrote
wanting
down
to find
also
the-
do some research.
I was saying we're trying to find the phylactery, right? For the bailiff and destroy it.
Well, I don't think the bailiff exactly has a phylactery. I don't think he's a lich. I think he's just some type of golem that this man's putting together, because we've already established that the bailiff looks a little different every time he comes back, which makes me think that he's just being put together again from different parts.
Is a phylactery. Sounds like factory.
So, a phylactery is essentially it is an item or idea or whatever it may be that someone can bind their soul to, so that if their body dies or is destroyed, they don't die with it. So, in the case of
That's not the factory, but that's cool.
yes, in the case of Malachi, it was bound to the idea of the faith of the people of the town. And since we broke that faith, the phylactery was broken, therefore the soul was bound to Malachi's body again, making him mortal. In the bailiff's sense, I believe he's just being remade. I don't believe him to be a lich of any kind. He doesn't exactly fit the description.
Alright. So,
Perhaps we should just find somewhere to stay at first.
Sounds good to me.
So, on your journey, to those of you who have been, to those of you who are on watch, you may have noticed a change in the surroundings. Leaving the top left shard, you start to see that the desert and arid surroundings start turning into a darker forest, with black trees replacing large shrubs and mud replacing the dirt. And you, after riding through that forest a little bit, you begin to see mountains form in the distance. Mountains and tall just shards of jagged rock erupting out of the land. The path takes you on a valley between this giant range of mountains, and after a few hours in there, you see massive stone walls just protruding out of this small valley, this small circular hole in the mountain range. A city surrounded by mountains with massive walls on all sides of it. As you get closer, you begin to see the stonemasonry of it. This is all mostly marble. It's got a very clean white texture to it, and it's very steampunky. And you start winding through the roads, through the dark trees, through the mountains, and the front gates of the city begin to come into view. You're about 10 minutes out of it. There's still lots of windy road to get to, but you are able to see the front gates of the city. They are it's a very tall door with one of those wooden barred doors that they have to roll up to get to where you can go through. And on the outside of them, you see large hulking creatures that seem to be guarding it. Is there any game plan that you want to make before riding up?
What's our plan for getting inside?
Golems are a bit
Should-
difficult to deal with. I think it's not like you can necessarily convince them that you're someone you're not.
Why?
Well,
Do I know anything about golems?
I don't know much about
Can
golems.
I
check.
can I consult my monster compendium
Yes,
to
you
find
can
and make sure
consult that.
golems?
So you roll an Arcana with advantage because you have your compendium. The rest of you just give me an Arcana check and tell me what you get.
I think that's the first time I've actually used this thing.
16 for me.
16.
Oh, it's 24.
All right. So everything that's above 15, you would know that golems are something that is brought about through either ritual, spell, or a special solution that is used. And they can be made out of many things, but from the most part, what you've heard is that these golems are made from dead people. None of you have specific knowledge of golems, but from what you can recall from your book, and you recalling from rolling a 16, they all have some kind of vulnerability, and it depends on what they're made out of. A wooden golem is weak to fire, a stone golem is weak to thunder, and a golem of the flesh may be weak to necrotic. Are you going to try to do what you did last time and talk your way in and maybe throw a name or two around?
What do I know about, like, the intelligence of the golems? Are they autonomous, or do they just follow an order?
So from what you know in your compendium, is a golem will follow the intelligence that its master gave to it. So a creature like the Bailiff has a fairly high intelligence for a constructed being. And then there was also Torin, which you met before, who is very intelligent. But you have also heard stories of some that walk around with the mindset of a zombie.
Torin was a golem?
As he's reading his book, he's just like, "Oh shit!"
Yo, it sounds like that
Wait.
guy I knew.
Can I where are we right now? Are we like approaching the gate? Like,
Yeah.
can we see the gates? And
You're
stuff like that?
You're like on a hill looking down on the gates. You're like, you still got some winding road and some trees to go through before you reach the gates themselves.
So can I say like how many guards are there? And
You can see that there's about 6 on the outside from like what you can spot from up here. And I assume all of you would be looking, so there's no need to like roll or anything. But you can spot 6 large figures out on the outside, and you don't really see their armaments unless you want to like roll a perception check. But you do see like the type of door that they have, which is like a big roll-up door.
does town have a wall?
Yes, there is a giant wall. So
There's a
Is
giant
it
wall.
investigation?
no, this one's perception specifically because you're so far away.
I got a 17 to see like if what they're armed with.
17. All right, everyone else.
21.
16.
21. 16. All right. And
10.
10. All right. So, to everyone who rolled above a 13, you can see that they have a sort of blue static electricity coming off of their weapons. Their weapons are electric in nature somehow, but they appear to be like longer halberds or maces.
Well, I guess we won't know until we try. Might as well just walk up to him, shall we? Unless anyone else is good at climbing up walls. How tall are
Why
you?
don't we
again?
just stick? Why don't we just
Oh, God.
stick what worked last time?
What was last time? Did we just talk our
Well,
way?
Mel dropped a very important name that the rest
Oh.
of us didn't know. Sure, I'll let you handle it then.
Fine.
All right. So, do you just ride down and ride up to the gates?
I guess so.
All
I
right.
guess.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So, you just sort of ride up to the gate. As you get closer, you see the sheer height of the walls. They are about 200 feet high. I'm sticking with it. And you approach the doors, and you approach the 6 guards on the outside. These are not like the Bailiff. The Bailiff is put together with precision. He almost looks human, but these are giant masses of flesh. They are the same size and height, but they are bulkier. There seems to be like tumors, like large bulbous tumors growing out the sides of them, and large like their muscle mass has outgrown a typical human's muscle mass. So think of just the most over muscular bodybuilder that you've ever seen, but times 100, and none of it's even. So it's just these balls of just muscle and tumor and fat, and they just sort of stand there holding their weapons, and one of them has a Spartan-esque helmet and walks up to the person driving the cart.
I guess that would be me.
Mm-hmm. He walks up to you, and he holds out a sending stone to your face, and then a voice comes to the stone, and it says, "Who are you?"
We're just coming from the from a town over. We are just merchants looking to pick up a shipment from someone inside.
Does anyone help and deception check?
I'm gonna let it.
Sure.
I'm gonna see how it goes first before I intervene.
I got pretty good deceptions, I think. 25.
Hot damn. He sort of starts going with it. He's like, "Merchants? We haven't had merchants in a while. Couple of years since we've had merchants come through. What do you deal in?"
Just spices and things of that sort. We're just looking to establish a trade route between this town and Catskin. We've been traveling for a day now, very slow pace because of the darkness and all.
Pretty odd time to begin establishing trade routes. But no matter. The guards will escort you in. You will come to my office and provide me your papers.
Of course.
All right. Just follow the guards. Follow the one in the helmet. He is the most intelligent of the lot.
Absolutely.
And he cuts off. The sending stone stops glowing. And the gate begins rising. And the helmeted guard puts the rock back into his pocket and grabs the rein of your horse and holds the reins with like an extremely tight death grip and begins dragging you all inside. Do you talk amongst yourselves?
No, I love them spices.
Yeah. I just kind of look back to Arron. I'm just like, when we get to this golem's office, you know what we have to do. We don't have any papers.
Yeah, alright, I got you. Just,
I mean, unless one of you want to, try and write something up. I mean...
I do have nice paper.
She has nice paper.
do we have, do we have spices?
We don't. We're here
No,
to...
we're picking up the shipment.
Yes.
Is that what you said? Alright. Who do we know that's important then in Catskin?
Mr.
We
Jones.
Yes. Mr. Jones.
He's got our
course.
salt,
I love that song.
I mean, we could try. And if worse comes to worse, then I guess we could just do what we do. I'll try to forge some papers.
Alright. Roll me a sleight of hand check to forge some papers.
Sleight of hand, you said?
Yes.
Not great, but a 16. Because I have a +8.
So you said a 16?
Yeah.
Okay. They look convincing. You might have done this before. I mean, yeah, they look pretty convincing. The only way you'll be able to know if they work is if you present the papers.
Well, it's the best I could do.
Can I see the paper?
Yeah, I was gonna hand them to over here to you to Adam anyway. To do all the talking.
Wait. Can you sit for one moment?
Oh, of course.
I'm gonna take the paper and I'm gonna like fold it a few times and be like, when you're traveling, you have papers in your pocket. You want them to look a little wrinkled, If not, it looks too neat. And they're like, oh, did you just make this? And you go, no, I've been traveling for weeks and it still looks like that. So pretty in my pocket. You just don't. You want to. If you have a little bit of tea, we can even make a little stained. Something like that to make it look out like,
I don't have any tea ready, but I'll keep that in mind.
What is your proficiency modifier, Olivia? Or Adrian?
For what?
Just in general, what's your proficiency modifier as a level 11 character?
We're level 10.
Oh, level 10. My bad. As a level 10 character, what is your proficiency modifier?
+4.
Yeah, add 4 to the roll, so that's going to make that a dirty 20 on the paper's deception check.
Let's go.
Shit.
Alright. The golem leads you through the gates as you see the giant arch above you, which had more golems with crossbows on the inside. You are led through and led to a building on the other side, just a small little shack that has a not like a sort of crown design, but like a crown and a coin design on a little sign out front. And the golem stops you there and points inside.
Okay, if I wait out here in the cart, I'm not feeling too well.
That's fine. So you want us to go in here?
The golem looks at you and grunts, like, oh.
All right. Adrian, you got the papers? Yeah.
Oh yes, and I'm gonna hand it to him. I can
All right.
stay here with Malthor if she's not feeling too good.
That's all right. All right. Arron, let's go ahead inside and show these kind men our papers.
Right.
So you walk through the doors, and it is just like a simple wooden door. A bell rings as you open it, and it is just a small office attached to the city wall where there is a man working at a desk. He has like very short receding hair and a pencil-style mustache, and he is like writing on papers, and he's like, papers, please. He looks up at you with like some beady brown eyes.
Course.
And he's wearing like a nice suit.
And I hand him the papers.
So, he is going to make an investigation check on those papers. Okay. Alright. He looks at them and he begins like sort of cross-referencing them. He's like, They don't look the same as our typical papers, but these does look official.
Thank you.
Don't get into any trouble in my city. And here, and he pulls out 3 sheafs of paper and places them down. And he takes out a stamp, opens up a drawer of stamp designs, picks one, and then bonk, places it, bonk, places it, bonk, places it. And he gives you each 3 papers, and he says, all right, these passes will let you stay in the city for 2 days. But after the 2 days are up, you will be forced to leave.
All right, that's all we need. Thank you very much, sir. I hope you have a good day.
Yes,
we'll be on our way.
Yes, enjoy your stay, even though this is quite unusual.
Yeah, that it is. All right, you have a good one. And I take the papers and I walk out.
All right. So 3 of you have little, I guess like little lanyards or whatever, like that say that you can stay here for 2 days.
So what happens to the 4th of us?
One of you don't got papers.
Did neither of you realize that they only gave you 3 papers and there are 4 of us?
I'm sure it's fine. I mean,
I think
whatever.
you should go back inside there and ask.
all right, I'll go back inside and ask. I go back inside.
He looks at you and he's like, 2 days already? What are you doing back in here?
No, I'm sorry. We have 4. We have 4 people, and you gave us three
Roll a
passes. I just don't want any.
Roll a persuasion check.
I don't want anything happening here. Oh, that's gonna be pretty good. What's my persuasion? Oh, it's a +8. 27.
Yeah. He looks at you and he's like, I don't know why they couldn't just come in here, but. And he takes out a third sheaf and he like looks at you weird and he's like gives it to you. He stamps it and he gives it to you and he's like, are there any more of you that I need to worry about?
No, it's just the 4 of us. Thanks. Appreciate it.
I mean, we don't need one for the horse.
Yeah, do we need one for
Oh,
the
wait.
horse?
Hold on, there's another pass for that. And he pulls out like another sheaf of paper and this one goes onto like a collar or some type of like
Collar.
yeah. And he grabs like a different
Halter.
stamp design for that, stomp, bang, and he hands you that one. He's like, here, your horse is now good for 2 days.
Well, I'm glad I asked.
Yeah, so you can use city
All right.
amenities.
All right.
Well, thank
I
you.
believe that's all we need. Thank you. And I head back outside.
All right.
To the cart.
Yeah.
The horse rents a room.
The golem
Nice.
looks at the 4 of your papers and he wanders back to where he was before.
5. I put the
Oh,
the
5,
collar.
my bad. Yeah.
I put the collar on the horse before
Yeah.
we continue.
All right. So, once you're inside Alzai, you can see that it is a city built on very hilly and mountainous terrain. So there are like different levels to it. There's like many ups and downs to the city, but most of the architecture is completely stone housing. Since there is like a mountain nearby, most of the stone is marble and slate. So like a lot of black and white motifs going on. And in the section of city you're in right now, it is a sort of like entrance area, like a welcome to the city kind of thing before the world went to shit. So there are some abandoned housing, like abandoned shops here, some more touristy kind of things, because this was probably the most civilized city before everything went down and the Rebus project started. But there are some, like, you can see like dilapidated signs for an old magic item store or an old apothecary with its windows smashed in. But as you work your way inside of the city, you are able to find residential areas and houses and stores and buildings that are still being used. But this is a very large city, much larger than Catskin, but only a small portion of it is being used, and that is the portion near the city center. Most of the city is abandoned.
Okay,
Which
so
means
we're
no
And
light.
the
you
city
said
center
all of
now.
these are.
Hmm?
All of
Keep
these like stone houses are all abandoned.
They are all
You
empty,
said.
like where you are right now, and there's also no light source. So it would after the guard leaves with his torch, it would be pretty dark besides the light outside of the magistrate's office, which you were just in. So going through, you can see the lights from the city itself. You can see there's like a faint blue light coming out of it, rising into the air from the city center. You see a church steeple, not as large as the one you saw before, and you can see a large tower in the skyline, that is. But you will have to provide your own light to get there because there are no street lamps out here.
Adam, can you?
Alright.
I don't went British. Could you make the lights again? I really don't like being in the dark.
I can get some light. Hold on. I've got a lantern in my backpack, so I'll pull the lantern out of my backpack and light it up.
All right.
I don't want to use magic because we are in the middle of a town we haven't been in yet, and that is something that they don't like here. So,
Very smart.
All right. So you light your lantern and you begin to travel inward. Make perception checks, everybody. As you are traveling inward.
Nat 20,
Now-
baby.
All right.
Natural 1, baby.
All
For
right.
a total of
Mm.
24.
So I see another nat 20 from Adrienne. I could read the lips on that. And what'd you get? What'd you get, Aaron?
Just a normal 14. Nothing
Yeah,
crazy.
14. Whatever.
Just
Nerd.
average. I'm average.
Completely
So-
normal roll.
Adam, you just sort of drive the cart. You're just going
Yeah,
forward. You're mostly
eyes just
blinded by the
glazed over.
lantern. That fluoride stare, just nothing in front of you. To the rest of you, you can like hear scuttering in the darkness. You can see some like the ones of you who rolled nat 20s. You can see like green eyes piercing through the darkness like a cat, like looking at you in the pitch black. There are still people or something in this part of the city that nobody's using, but they have probably got a very, very bad case of the Umbral madness. So, as you move into the city, you start getting to where the lights are on and the city is alive. The first thing that you do, it breaks you through, and you start riding through a residential area that has some light to it. And if you just keep going into a straight line, you will break out into the city center. And the way that the lights here are lit is through arcane means. There's a blue like flame that comes out of all of the city lanterns. And so everything is bathed in this light blue, very academic kind of lighting to it. The kind sort of like the fluorescent lightings that would be in a school. So everything is lit very brightly here, and this is because to the city, you might know this by now, but Owl's Eye is home to Dr. Jupiter, and he is a very bright mind. He is very intelligent. That is his whole thing. And he wants to keep the citizens of his city in the same way. He likes to have smart citizens. He wants a culture in his town. And that is what you can pick up from the city center here. There's a library, there are bookstores, there is apothecaries even. This is the first hint of magic that you would be able to purchase, even though it is just potions and not spells or artifacts. But information is accessible here. The people are dressed smartly. They have vests on, they have jackets, they have ties even. There is not as huge of a sense of immediate hardship going on in this city. What would you like to do?
I think as we ride through, I'm just looking at all of the libraries and bookstores with just like adoration in my eyes, like wanting to go inside.
Can I look around and see if there's like an inn somewhere or
Make me a perception check, but this is really a formality. You can look around, and one of you will have seen like a sign in the middle of not the middle of the town square, but in the town square, and it's sort of a city map. It can tell you where things are. And on this map, you would be able to find that there actually are functioning inns in the city. Even though people don't go in and out, it's still a larger city. And so somebody will say, leave their home on the south side to go and visit the north side for a day for an academic purpose. Because you also see on this map, there's a university. On the north side of the city, next to the large tower, there is a university in the city. And so you do see there would be like inns nearby.
All right.
So what would you all like to do?
Yes, guys. I think I'll go ahead over to the inn and I'll see what it might cost us to get a place to stay for the night. Or for the next day, I guess it is morning. Whatever that means around here. But I'll go to the inn, the nearest one, and I'll see what we can get. Whatever you guys want to do, you can go ahead.
To the rest of you, do any of you want to not go to the inn and go somewhere else?
I probably would want to go to the inn because I'm assuming they have food there, and that's probably where I'd want to get something to eat.
All right.
Because our only rations are Adam's
Nothing.
meat rope now.
Oh yeah, it's just Adam's meat rope.
I still got about 150 feet of that.
Yeah, get rid of like 5 of that from like the trip here. Y'all probably would have snacked on it.
All right.
Everyone's munching on that meat rope.
I'm actually going to jump off the cot real quick. And just
All
say,
right.
I'll meet you at the inn. I'm sure as long as we got this and don't cause any trouble, we should be fine. But in any case, I will meet you guys back at the inn. I'm gonna scope a few things out.
We will cut back to you in just a sec. So to those of you who are going to the inn, you find one
Also-
on. Mhm.
I was gonna say, as we're riding through town, I'm just gonna like tug up the hood of my cloak.
Yeah, naturally. So, as you're riding through the town, you go down a street where the inn is, and on the street you pass restaurants, something that you haven't seen in a long time. It's places that aren't strictly for serving alcohol, and other like pieces of civilization that you wouldn't have seen since Portugal. But once you get to the once you get to the inn, it is on top of a fairly large hill. This is a very San Francisco-esque city where there's like lots of hills and lots of ups and downs. And on the top of a fairly larger incline, you see a place called Peaks View Inn. And it's still beige with that like bright bluish light. It has its name carved onto the stone of the outside of it, and there are a few people smoking outside, but the door is open for you, and there is a place for you to tie your horse. What would you like to do?
Let's see.
Dude.
Hungry.
Sure. I mean, we can go inside.
You
Go
head
inside, talk
inside.
to the clerk.
You head inside, and it is. You open the door, and there's like a sort of like waiting area, and also like in case of lines. But right now there are none, and there is a clerk sitting behind a desk carved of marble that seems to have just been carved out of the same stone that the floor is. It seems to be connected. So it's a rough marble carving. And there's an older woman behind there. She has her hair put up into a bun, and she is wearing like a black dress with a white like frilly bits in the front. And she looks to you and she says, "Ah, evening. Are you all still wearing your catskin disguises?"
Disguises?
Like the
What do you
clothes,
mean?
like the clothing.
Oh, I thought she said that. I was like, what?
No, not yet. She's
Yeah,
me actually. She
we
turns
are.
into Jackson.
We
Okay,
are
yeah.
still. Yeah, we haven't changed.
She sees you and she's like, unusual fashion choices.
We just like to change it up, you know. It's just part of our deal. How much for a room for 4 people for 2 nights?
We can accommodate that with you said 2 nights. We'll say that's around 2 gold.
2 gold. No problem. And I pull out my little sack and I flicker the gold.
She takes the gold. She hands you 2 room keys, and she's like, "Here's 2 doubles. They're right next to each other, and they have locking doors so that you can go betwixt one and the other."
Right, thanks. Do you guys have food by chance?
No, but I can recommend restaurants in the area. There's one down the street. They sell just the meanest of bread.
Absolutely, that sounds perfect.
Mhm.
All right, thank you very much. We'll be on our way. So,
All right. She hands you the keys. She gives you a tata, and she gestures to where the stairs are to rooms if you need to unpack. Although your shit did get stolen, so I imagine you will not want to do that.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Let me talk to her again. One more thing. Where would we go to if we wanted to just purchase some, just general is there like a general store around here anywhere like that?
A general
We
store
haven't
for
been to
general
this part of
goods.
town before. Sorry.
She says, "If you answer my riddles 3, I'm just kidding. We like to have fun here." No, she points there near the town square. There would be a spot where you'd be able to buy those sorts of things.
All right. Thank you.
Mhm.
And I leave.
All right. So you leave. The rest of you, what do you do? Do you follow?
Yeah, I guess we're just tagging along.
All right.
Right.
I presume you're going to head there. So if you're gonna go to a restaurant beforehand, just a silver from each of you to eat, And while that is happening, we're going to cut to Mr. Knight. Mr. Knight, what are you doing?
After I jumped off from the carriage, I went back to look at the map, and I'm going to head towards the library.
All right, you head towards the library. What? So it's it's one library, and there are like other bookstores that have more specialized things, but the library would have a lot of everything. So going to the library, it's carved from like a beautiful marble, and once you get inside, you see that there are many people, lots of them younger people, potentially students, going in and out with their like little books and scrolls inside their bags. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna take a look around. First things first. I'm looking for any alchemy type books and anything that might mention. Probably won't find it here, or at least in this section. If there's a private section, I'll get to that later. But I'm looking for anything detailing how to create philosopher's stones.
Holy
we know he
shit.
makes them.
Yeah.
We know he makes them. We just don't know how.
Okay.
And maybe we don't even have to face him if we can stop the production.
You're making me want to watch that one show. All right, roll me an investigation check.
I will gladly. I'll use this dice. Yep. Hey, good choice. Plus 8, 21.
21.
No, wait. Plus 7, 20. Sorry. I don't know where I saw plus 8.
No difference. So you are able to walk through, and you find areas. It's like this is fiction. I'll go to nonfiction. Let's see. That's history. Cooking might be around. Cooking, alchemy. Here we go. And you're in a sort of alchemy section. There are books on herbs. There are books on different minerals that are used. But there's also general alchemy textbooks that could teach you recipes, how to brew very basic potions. But you said you're looking for philosopher's stones. So once you're in that area, I need you to give me an investigation check and tell me how specifically, like, are you looking for coded things? Are you looking for something that says it on the box? Or are you going to look for a secret room?
I do want to look for a secret room at some. But first, I want to go through like these books that are like general to the public, and see what I can find that's available to the public. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like see the titles of the book if it seems somewhat interesting, like general alchemy or something like that. Anything that's like not herb related, anything that might be minerals, souls, or stuff like that. I'm gonna look at that. So read a few pages and maybe like do the little book thing.
Yeah.
It'll take me a while, but I don't mind. I got time.
Over the course of a few hours, roll me the single investigation check.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Same thing.
Same thing. I heard. So
13 for 20.
So you start looking through. It's like, this is herbs, this is potions, this is minerals, maybe in here. You pick it out, you flip through it, and you see there are mentions of philosopher's stones. You feel like you're getting a little warmer. You find other books, and this one is called magnum opuses of alchemy. You flip through that. You find like bringing the dead to life. You find let's see here. You find mentions of like bringing the dead to life and creating artificial beings like golems. And you find more mentions of philosopher's stones and say that, and it says more information about them. A philosopher's stone would be able to, oh goodness me, if a philosopher's stone would be able to like charge someone's spell energy and in a sense bring back spell slots and sort of act as a source of raw arcana, but it can also do other things. It can be used as a battery. It can be used to, you can charge spells into it. And you can have like just a philosopher's stone for fireball, but you don't see how to make it, but you do see a symbol. And this is where you're getting somewhere, right? I did this in real life, by the way. That's how I do that. That's how I can reverse engineer this, because I've had this in real life. So you find the symbol, and now you're like, okay, I have a symbol, I know what it's for, now I should go and check out symbology. And you do. You find a textbook on symbology of alchemy, and you flip through that one, and you got a 20. So flipping through this book on symbology, you find that a philosopher's stone is made of 4 things: mercury, iron, sulfur, and life. Specifically intelligent life. We'll say that this is the middle symbol, because a symbol for a philosopher's stone is a circle, a triangle, a square, and then a 4th circle. In the 4th circle on the inside, you find that it represents both the sun and the moon coming together, creating life. And you can determine that this is what is meant as the 4th ingredient. And there's somehow a ritual that combines the 4 of these things to create philosopher's stones. But it does not tell you the exact measurements, it just tells you the 4 base ingredients.
Shouldn't be surprised, I guess. If that's the case, then and no one's come looking for me yet, I'm gonna look for a hidden section in the library.
All right.
Or a private section.
All right. Do you ask around about that, or are you like flipping books and seeing if you can find a private section?
I'm definitely not stupid enough to ask.
All right.
I'm just gonna,
we don't talk about Fight Club.
I'm just gonna like looking at books, pick one up, but pretend like I'm reading, and then just kind of like look.
Investigation check with a much higher DC this time. Unfortunately, it won't just be a DC of like 15. You're gonna need to roll above a 20.
Yeah. Do you want me to show you? Yeah. I rolled a 19, so plus 7.
Ooh!
26?
Dirt nasty. Okay. You are a fan of literature. You look for a way in. You start by like going towards and just picking out random books, but something inside of you pulls you to a more clever answer. You go towards an architecture section. You start pulling, like seeing if you can find like a secret, a trick book there. You don't find anything. You go towards a section on the history of like spies or secret rooms or something like that. Like, it's a library. There's a lot of books, but you don't find anything there. But then your mind tells you to go to fiction. You go to the fiction section. You find recently written books, but none of them stick out to you. But then you see it. You go to a section on what is called here. It would be a classic at this point. Yeah. You go towards classic poetry, and you see a book written by the poet Dante. Even though it would not fit the Abrahamic Christian, we are not in the Abrahamic Christian environment that Dante was when he wrote the Inferno, there is still a version of that. Dante, even though this is a different world, Dante still existed, and he still wrote about the afterlife, and he has his own book in this library, and it is called The Descent in Italian. So you go up to that one, and something about it doesn't look right. It is a little bit bigger. The pages don't look as real. It's more yellowed than everything else. And as you grab it and pull it back, you can feel a switch click. With a 25, you find a hidden door. The switch flips, and then behind you, you can hear a bookcase sort of shudder to the right a little bit. And as you turn around, you can hear it, you can see it get dragged just far enough to where you can squeeze your body through into a secret room.
Well, I'm gonna see, make sure nobody's watching and sneak my way in there.
Alright. You look around and you don't see any in there, and you are able to get through right as the door begins closing behind you. This room is pitch black. What do you do?
I have dancing lights, so I'm just gonna cast dancing lights.
Alright. You light the room up, and inside of it, it is another smaller library, but this time it gives off a different essence. This is not the library like it was before. This is closer to a museum. Rarities and oddities in here. There are items. There are gems in here. And there are spell books and spell scrolls.
Okay. Okay.
And we'll come back to you. So,
Yep.
the other three, you get a good lunch, man. Like, she wasn't lying. That bread was hidden, and she gave it out with, like, goat cheese and stuff. It was really good. And in this time that he was able to do all that, you would have been able to go to general stores or buy things. What would you like to buy?
More rations.
More rations? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
You
a bedroll.
Yeah, you find a general store just with goods in it, dry goods and blankets and such like that. It is run by a thinner man who is in his a little bit past middle age, and he has like graying hair and whatnot. And he helps you get to all of these rations. We'll say for about 5 days of rations and 4 bedrolls, that would bring you up to about 1 gold, 5 silver to whoever wants to pay it.
I got it.
I'll do it.
Also, a fun little thing in here is that there are small potions. Now, these aren't potions like healing potions, but it's small things. Like, there's a potion of produce flame. It, like, you open the bottle and you splash it out, and then the liquid catches on fire. There is a bottle of grease in here that somebody could, like, you throw it out and it splashes into grease and somebody could slip on it. But there's, like, tiny little potions in here that give off very minuscule effects.
Any minor acids or...
You know there are. There would be, like, a little minor, like a small acid potion, which on a person would do, like, a d4 of damage. But if you soaked, like, metal into it, it would be able to eat through the metal in an hour. These are mostly used for experimentation, but you will probably get to more nefarious uses with them, but they're about 20 gold each for each little vial of it.
That's pretty expensive.
Yeah, I don't think I have that.
I could buy it for you if you really wanted it.
I don't want to make you spend your money. Besides, I was probably going to do something stupid with it. Let's be honest, I probably...
I'll just reach into my bag, pull out my coin purse, and just pull out 20 gold and set it on the counter. And just put my money back in my bag.
Alright.
She's rich.
Alright, do you pick up the acid after that?
Well, if mommy's paying, then...
Alright,
Yeah.
add an acid vial to your inventory.
Hell yeah.
Is there anything else you do in here?
At least not for me.
Nope. I'm good.
Alright,
Good to go.
so what's the move after the general store?
Yes. Arron told me that he would meet us back at the inn. Should we maybe go back there and wait for him?
Sure, that sounds like a good idea. We should all be together before we start making any plans, you know?
While we
Is-
wait for him, I can take a food nap.
So, do you all go back to the inn and chill, or is there anything you'd like to do?
I say just go back to the inn.
Yeah.
Then with that, we're gonna cut back to Aaron. Aaron, like a kid in a candy store, man. There are things like +1 daggers and like daggers that like +1 daggers in here, +1 like all kinds of weapons. There are staffs in here that shoot fire out of them, gloves that can apply lightning to people. You look through the spell scrolls, and it's not just cantrips. There's fireball. There's glyph of warding. There's some nice spells in here, my dog.
Is there anyone here?
Nope. This was an empty room. There are cobwebs in it.
And do I take that the way I came in is the only way out?
Yes.
Well, fuck. I really could go for a bag of holding. Wait,
Is there anything in specific that you look for?
Is there more books here?
There are more books here. This stuff it's mostly like spell books. If any of you were wizards, you can make use out of that. But it is also arcane grimoires. There's journals of famous people in here. I say famous people, journals of powerful people in here. Stuff that people would consider artifacts. Do you look through them? And are you looking through anything specific?
I'm trying to find more because I got enough information about the Philosopher's Stone, but I don't know the ritual, so I'm looking to see if I can find any information on how the ritual is performed.
Absolutely. You find in a book that has you find a book, and on this book there is like a sort of skull figure with a red stone in its mouth. And you open it up, and its pages are covered in blood and viscera and like a yellow ichor. But you are still able to make out the words in it. As you read through the book, you do find like the actual ritual of the Philosopher's Stone. And it states, all mundane ingredients are added onto each point of the triangle, and then in the middle, 15 human lives are placed in there, or an equivalent, or an intelligent equivalent. But basically what this means is you have to put 15 people with an intelligence score equaling to 150 if you added it all up. So it could be like 7 really smart people, it could be 15 mundane people, or however many. But the intelligence score must be 150 if you added all of their intelligence scores up. You put them in the center, and then you combine all of it with fire. After doing that, let the room be for 24 hours. When you come back to it, the room will be empty aside from a lone red stone sitting in the center.
Why am I not surprised? It's always lives. Alright. I guess I should get back to the others, but there's so much good stuff here. Before I leave, and maybe we'll come back later with everyone else, but in case this room isn't here when I return, I'm gonna take 2 daggers, just for me.
Yeah, just +1 daggers, pretty standard.
Gotcha. And I'm gonna take 3 spells.
Alright, what spells are you looking for, or just 3 random ones? We'll say that they go up to level 4.
Okay. I'll take Fireball, because Fireball is always fun.
Mhm.
Oh boy. Well, what spell level is Mass Suggestion? I think that's 5, isn't it?
That is 5. I remember from Junebug, that's 5.
Okay, yeah. So I'll take a Fireball. I'll take and you know what? I'll say it in my haste. I'll grab the Fireball and 2 random ones, and I'll let you pick the other 2.
All right,
For fun.
Fireball and 2 random ones. Gotcha.
Because I feel like I've already been here a long time, and I'm like, they're probably waiting for me, so I'm just gonna book it.
All right, and do you take the book that teaches you how to make the Philosopher's Stone?
Nah, it's in my head.
All right. So, there's a lever on the way out. Do you pull the lever and leave?
I'm gonna, yeah, but very carefully and sneakily, hopefully.
Alright. Yeah. You open it, the bookcase slides to the side, and you're able to look around. There doesn't seem to be anyone there, and you're able to go back and close the door. Now that you think about it, there isn't anyone anywhere. You start walking back down the library, which was once filled with so many people and students, but it's completely empty. You've been here only a few hours, but it looks like a ghost town. What do you do?
I hate that for me. I probably would have turned off my dancing lights because of magic. So I'm just carrying around a lantern.
Mm-hmm. That lantern is the only thing keeping you from an ever-encompassing darkness inside of the library. All of the lights in here have been turned off. It is abandoned.
I guess I'll make my way to the inn unless something happens.
Mm-hmm. You go out the front door of the library, and it's the same story. The lights are on in the street, but there's nobody there. This place was filled with about a couple hundred people before, like selling things in stalls. Stalls are abandoned. Going into bookstores and going into storefronts. Storefronts are closed. Lights are off. You don't see anyone. Do you go to the inn?
I hate you. Oh my god. Yeah, I go to the inn.
You go to the inn. You start walking that way. Street's empty. You go to where the inn is. The door does open, but the lobby is empty and the lights are off. Where do you go from there? The rest of you are just up in your room. You don't see anything happening, really. Unless
How big
you're
is the
Mhm.
How big is the inn?
It's 2 stories. There's rooms on the second story, and then there's like amenities on the first floor.
Cool. And if I see no one around me, I'm just gonna start casting message in random directions.
Yeah.
Just in every direction, just like, hey, where are you guys?
Roll to hit.
Huh? Okay.
Roll to hit with your intelligence modifier.
Okay.
And what message
okay.
are you sending out?
Just where are you guys? I don't know what room you guys are staying in.
Mhm.
Right. With my intelligence, just intelligence. Can I add my proficiency or no?
Nope. Yeah, proficiency because it's the spell, but like basically you're a spell attack modifier.
Okay, so yeah, okay. 15.
15. You're sending this spell out in random directions, and eventually you shoot where the counter was, and you send the message, and then you hear come back to you. What in the blue blazes are you doing? Get into your room. You have to hide.
Hide from what?
You see the lady who was previously there is just an older lady, grayish hair, tied up in a bun, black dress, and frilly front. Drop invisibility. She's holding a lantern, and she like leans over to you, and she says, "Where are you from here? Have you been to Alice? Were you born yesterday?"
Well, me and my friends just got here. Actually, I've been looking for them. They said they were going to get a room here.
So they don't know either. Hide yourselves. Hide yourselves. And all of the sudden, every street lamp outside shuts off. There is no light anywhere perceivable besides what is inside of this room. And you can just hear every blue flame extinguish, and you see it all fizzle out outside. Sirens start to play. And she's like, "Unless you want to get caught, you better hide." And she puts her invisibility back up, and she backs up against the wall. You hear her thud against the wall. Her lantern disappears with her. So the only light here is you and your lantern. Make a perception check.
That's gonna be a natural one.
You don't know from where, but it feels like an earthquake. The ground is shaking beneath your feet. And then all of a sudden, the lights turn back on. You're looking at where the stairs would lead, your back's to the door, and the lights come back on. You're not in darkness anymore. You think it all just sort of ended. You turned around to see the street lights, but they're not there. There is a giant spotlight pointed directly at you from some creature that is bending over and pointing it at you. You stand there like a deer in the headlights. Roll initiative. Oh!
Oh, fucking man. I'm fucked here.
Mhm.
I'm absolutely gonna die here.
I'm assuming up in our room we would hear the sirens.
You hear
right?
the-
like
oh,
when we
yeah.
see out of our
The-
window, like that they're shut off.
Yeah, like your room light shuts off on its own, and it's like you have a whole little panic moment until Adam casts light on something, and then you hear the light. Then you hear the spotlights and the earthquake, and you're able to look outside. If you want to look outside, make perception checks. The three of you can, of course.
I don't know if I want to look
The
out the
9.
window.
9. Oh, you don't need high. There is a
10.
creature out there that is about 3 stories tall, made of metal and flesh. It rolled a 15 on its initiative roll.
I
But what did you get?
close the blinds.
Yeah, just like
Not that.
like I forgot what movie that is, but like you just close the blinds and let the horrors happen outside.
I got a 12.
Can we do I see it shining the light like into the front of our inn?
Yes, you like before the blinds are closed, you see it like peering down, looking into the front door. So you make a dexterity saving throw. Its turn goes first.
Dex save. I'm good at those.
Yep.
Ooh, 26.
26. Okay. Do you have evasion as well?
I do.
You
Wait.
are a.
I should, but I multi-classed, so I'm not sure actually. Yes, I do. Okay, yeah,
Okay.
I'm good.
So a successful saving throw, dex save with evasion. Does that bring the damage out to 0?
0, yep.
You narrowly dodge a lightning bolt that was going straight for you. And we will do your turn when we get back on the next episode.
For crying out loud.
So thank everyone for playing, and thank everyone else so much for watching. This has been Umbral Island, and we are going to see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Like star genitals.